Hello, it's Cherie. Please excuse all the background noise. We are pushing 100 degrees and I've got every fan in my house on. My husband and I went and looked at a $1 million+ home a few weeks ago. And it was an open house and we thought, you know what, let's just go see what a house looks like that is over $1 million. I wasn't totally impressed with it. It seems to me like smaller houses are more efficient. Well, not all. Our house is not efficient. But the way that they make big houses, there's just so much inefficiency and wasted space. And I guess I have a mindset of lack of space. Oh, wow. Yeah, a mindset of lack of space, and that's why I'm always trying to be as efficient as possible. Isn't that interesting? I just hit another limiting belief. Lack of space. Lack mentality. Wow, that's fascinating. Anyway, I'm off track. So we went and looked at this $1 million home, and the realtor there, you know, we didn't have the heart to tell her that, no, we're not planning on buying $1 million home. We were just looking because it was an open house. And she's been sending us all kinds of information on different $1 million homes in the area. You know, I told her that my dream was 5,000 square feet, blah, blah, blah. So she's been sending me all kinds of houses that are on the market right now. She actually sent me a listing yesterday of a house that I was actually impressed with. I wanted to go see. Of course, you have to have pre-approval, and in our present financial conditions, there is no way we're being approved for this house. This house was $1,740,000. So it was, you know, close to $2 million home. It just got put on the market. It had a lot of the things that I would really like to have in a home. It had a library. It had a pool table area. It had 4 bedrooms. It had 8 bathrooms. It had an additional dwelling unit. It was almost combined 8,000 something square feet for everything. It had a garage, an attached garage, and a detached garage, and in the picture there was actually a basketball hoop in the garage, so you could actually play basketball in the garage. It was crazy, but I really wanted to go see it. She said, no, you need a pre-approval first, and I said, well, that's not going to happen because we don't want to ding on our credit score. And she said that she worked it out with the agent, with the selling agent, for us to go look at it without a pre-approval. Part of me knows that I am just stringing her along. There's just, in our present state of mind, there's no way. There's just no way. But man, curiosity of what it would be like. Now, let me backtrack to going to Yakima right after we were getting over COVID. And we were looking at the giant houses up on the hills in Yakima and thinking that those people were probably the owners of the wineries and stuff that are all over Yakima. And the question came up then, what do these people do every day to be able to afford something like that? What is their lifestyle? How can they do that? What are they doing differently than I'm doing? What's going on in their minds that helps them to have that? And to me, it was just a fascinating question, and that question is still with me today. Looking at the house that she sent me just yesterday, my curiosity got to me, and it's like, okay, so how much would it cost me to live in this house if I was to buy this $1.7 million home? So I went to a mortgage calculator online, and I worked it out, and it looks as if a $1.7 million home with a $38,000 down payment would be almost $10,000 a month in mortgage payments. $10,000 a month in mortgage payments. We don't even pay $1,000 a month in the mortgage payment we're making now. We're under $1,000 a month. So that would be more than 10 times what we are doing now. And it's like, how in the world do people do that? What are they doing? What does their daily life look like? How is it so different from mine that they can do a $10,000 home and I'm doing a home that's under $1,000? And I had a really hard time last year when the mortgage company upped our mortgage by $100 and something. It was like, how are we going to do this? It's just crazy to me to think that somebody can afford $10,000 a month on a mortgage payment. Not to mention, you got that much square footage, your electricity is going to go up. Everything is going to go up when you elevate to that level, including housework. It's like, how are you going to manage 8,000 plus square feet of home to clean? That's a lot. I don't even like doing my 1,600 square feet. So there's something in my mind that has to be fixed. I have to, if I ever, and this is something I figured out, sorry, I'm backtracking again. This is something I figured out this year. I think it was this year. It could have been last year. When our mortgage payment went up over $100. In that same time frame, our electricity went up $100. Our car payment went up $200 because we got a more expensive car. So everything was rising. Buying of rings and expensive jewelry and clothing and just spending money, going out and renting lodge rooms and stuff. Everything was getting more expensive, and it's very hard to accept all those higher prices at first. You know, when my husband first bought me the rings, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be walking around with all this money on my fingers. That's so scary. I was terrified of losing them, of wrecking them, of anything, because I've never had that much on my fingers before. The car payment going up so high, I was like, oh my goodness, how are we going to do this? Why are we doing this? The mortgage payment going up by over $100, the electricity payment going up. Everything was just hitting all at once, all of these higher prices. To make a long story short, all one day I was sitting there thinking about it, stressing over it, just being fearful, and it just hit me. It's like, you've always wanted 5,000 square feet. How are you ever going to get that if you can't even handle what you're paying now? How are you going to do it? Because at that time I was thinking, well, geez, mortgage payment will go way up for 5,000 square feet. Of course, $10,000 a month. That's just because everything's overinflated. But electricity would go up, and what we're paying in this house, it would be probably double or more in a bigger house. So something in me a year or so ago is like, you better get used to things costing more. It's important. You better be okay with it if you ever want to get what you truly want out of life. Because what you truly want is more expensive, and therefore you must be able to handle it. You must be open to it. You must be like, this is the cost of the lifestyle that I want. Now, the other question that kicks in, I've never lived that lifestyle. I don't know what it's like, so I don't know if I truly want it. What is the lifestyle? What do those people who can afford all of this stuff, what is it that they do every single day? And would I like that? It's hard to answer that question. I can look at it through the lens of me being a gardener. I started gardening way back. I was probably in my 30s. Could have been my 20s. I don't know the dates. But I started gardening. I thoroughly enjoyed it, except for the harvesting and the cleaning and the cooking of it. That part I did not enjoy. I didn't mind it when I was able to give away what I was doing. When I could harvest and clean and give stuff to people and they were appreciative of it, it made it much better for me to be out in my garden doing all of that work. I love the planting and the weeding and the watering, and all that stuff is fine. It's the harvesting and the cleaning that really gets to me. And I've been gardening for a long time. And then all of a sudden I realized, I mean, I had a huge garden. When we first moved in here, I started gardening, and because we're on 2.5 acres, you know, it got really large. And I was trying to give away all the produce to family and neighbors and stuff, and nobody wanted anything to do with my hard work. When I first started gardening, nobody wanted to help me pick and clean. It's like, nope, this is your stuff. You take care of it. They had no problem eating what I was cooking, but they didn't want to help with the cleaning and the picking and all that stuff. Same thing here at this house. You know, as far as taking care of everything and doing the harvesting and the canning and the freezing and the blanching and all that stuff, nobody wanted to help me. And then I couldn't give away my hard work. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it just got to a point where it's like, you know, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to me to not be able to share this with others. And nobody wanted anything. It's almost like maybe I did it in such a way that I expected thanks in return. I expected appreciation in return. I didn't just give freely. And maybe that's why people didn't want to take it. I don't know. Something I'm still working on. But I've not gardened now for the last couple of years just because of that thought of, do I really enjoy this? Is it really worth my time and energy? And I have not been able to answer that question. But I haven't gardened, so I don't know. So back to where I was previously. I know I like to ramble. What if the lifestyle that creates the wealth, that creates the ability to pay $10,000 a month on a mortgage, what if that lifestyle does not suit me? I don't know until I do it. This whole thing is about the wondering, do I really truly want a lifestyle that would let me live in a 5,000 square foot home, paying $10,000 a month on a mortgage, and who knows how much for electricity? This is 1,600 square feet. This is a very old mobile home. It's probably leaking hot air everywhere whenever we turn on the heater. So, you know, you triple this. I bet you heating a big place like that would probably be about $500-600 a month. But that's just guesswork. I don't really know for sure. The maintenance on a place would be a lot more because it's a bigger place. I mean, everything would go up. So basically, we would have to, let's see, we don't even have, there's not even enough money per month to even cover a mortgage that size. We're not even close. Not even close. So we would have to triple our income just to pay a mortgage, and then probably have to triple it again just to get everything else. So yeah, the math is crazy to me, but would I really want that? And I talk all the time about the things that I want, and then I do it, and I don't like the lifestyle choice.